Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about the TikTok ban bill or the Restrict Act that was recently proposed. It's going to be a super quick video, just kind of shedding some light on the key topics and main points that not everybody fully understands about this bill. So, thanks for all tuning in. This will be Financial Education episode number 5. So, for those that don't know, the White House has recently proposed a bill that would essentially ban TikTok in America. Now, I'm going to lay this out there right now. I'm not the biggest fan of TikTok. I think that it has some educational benefit, but at the same time, it encourages a lot of mindless scrolling within our society and specifically our youth. So, no, I'm not a huge fan of TikTok. I don't think it's this glorious thing, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of this bill that's being proposed. And to kind of outline everything, it's because of the vague terminology that gets used. It's not a very specific bill, and I think this can create a lot of problems within it. So, yeah, so I guess within the bill, there's mention of fines up to $1 million and or 20 years in jail. And this would only be for the very extremes, the extreme cases of maybe terroristic acts, stuff like that. So I know I don't think your average person is going to see anything close to this, but at the same time, these are pretty extreme punishments. So yeah, I think that anytime that the suppression of liberties as Americans is, in act, I think that it's important to understand all of the terms and conditions. And what this bill doesn't do is lay out all the terms and conditions. So yeah, we have a lot of people comparing this, I think wrongfully, comparing this to like China's Great Firewall, and even like the Patriot Act 2.0 and stuff like that. I don't see that at all. I think that, like I said, it's very important to talk about and understand all the terms and conditions, but I don't think that it's something anything close to China's Great Firewall. But are we kind of creeping into that territory? Very possible. So yeah, this would include VPNs that are used to access these banned websites. So yeah, if this were to pass and I used a VPN to access TikTok in a different country, I would be in violation of the law. And I think this includes a lot of other use of VPN, such as if I wanted to get on maybe South Korea Netflix to watch some shows that they have available over there. I think that this would also be in correlation to an illegal activity. So so like I was saying earlier, this just contains a lot of ambiguous and vague phrases such as desktop programs, mobile apps, gaming platforms, payment solutions, web applications. And it just kind of makes you think like what isn't like a desktop program, mobile apps that fits under a lot of things. So yeah, I think if this bill had more specificity and it was a lot more set in stone, then it could have some backing. But right now, it should not be passed because of the vague nature and how these terms are being used are not very specific, and they kind of leave some leeway in the court of law for somebody to get indicted upon a charge they're not fully responsible for. So diving into some screenshots directly from the bill, any information submitted to the federal government by a party to a covered transaction in accordance to this act, as well as any information the federal government may create relating to review of this covered transaction, is exempt from disclosure. I think that this is a problem because it's one thing if you have a bill where like everything's kind of laid out and people fully understand the terms of what's happening. But when you have a lot of things that are happening behind closed doors, this creates for many problems within the average people because they see it and we don't. Probably a problem. Over here we have the Secretary may appoint technical advisory committees to advise the Secretary in carrying out their responsibilities under this Act, Chapter 10 of Part 1 of Title 5, United States Code. Shall not apply to any meeting of such an advisory committee held pursuant to this subsection. Now, in my humble interpretation of this, I think that this is kind of just giving power to people that are creating this bill, and that's the last thing we want to see as American people who should be firm on their liberties. I don't think that we want to see our power getting handed off to people that are creating this kind of stuff. So, yeah, kind of following on that topic, we shouldn't be like happy to give up our information. I think it's made pretty obvious that a lot of these platforms collect a ton of data from us and target us with advertisements and products and stuff like that that they know we will probably want to consume. So yeah, for those that don't know, PRISM is a code name for a program under the United States National Security Agency that collects internet communications from various U.S. internet companies. So what I think is the most scary thing is the money that's being handed around. People, a lot of these companies are like Google are incentivized to share data with other people, and especially when you have like this article down here, when you have government entities like the DEA, and this is a weird one because yeah, maybe they did it for the better of humanity. Maybe they had some huge drug bust that was awesome, that was great. But when you have the DEA buying customer data from rogue employees instead of getting a warrant, I think that this is a problem for both parties. For the DEA, because you should be following jurisdiction 1 to 1. You should be the first one that's holding up the law. But when you incentivize workers to give you data that shouldn't be easily accessed, we have a problem. You can go ahead and get a warrant and prove in a court that this is something that needs to happen, or you can just pay them off. Yeah, I think that that's corruption in full right there. So yeah, I guess key point of this slide, and this is it. This is really all I have for you guys. Is we shouldn't be very optimistic about giving up our liberties. We should be fully understanding of the terms and conditions that are being applied when a bill like this passes. And I think that this bill in specific just has a lot of vague terms. It's not fully laid out, and that's a huge problem, and will be a problem later down the line when it starts popping up in the court of law and people start getting indicted upon cases that maybe they didn't fully commit to. So that's all I got. Thanks for all tuning in. I know this is probably a quicker video. Hopefully this kind of sparks some interest in you guys and you go out and do some research on your own, because this is something I just learned about today. So you can probably tell that my thinking about it is very scattered. I just kind of decided to put a quick slideshow together and share it with you all today. So happy Monday, everybody. Have a great week, and hopefully I'll catch you all next time. See you.